Hey, how's it going? This is Melinda and welcome to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about a really cool find that was in a very unusual place, a record that I am so excited to now have, and it was in a place I didn't expect. I also want to talk to you about some new reissues that are really cool, really good. I want to talk about the music, been enjoying them for a while. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to talk to you just for a minute. A lot of you are sending me well wishes. Last week's video, I've been telling you I've been kind of down. You all were so nice and so encouraging. You gave me a lot of great suggestions on some really cool music. I appreciate it so much. And also on top of that, we are where I live in a state of emergency for potentially an upcoming Hurricane Milton. So as of right now, I think we're okay. I will say we do not live in a flood zone. We live near the beach, but we're not in a flood zone. We should be okay. And so just keep me in your thoughts and prayers. I think things will be fine. I think we're in an okay spot. But you just never know with these things. But let's go ahead and get into the heart of the matter here. First off, a record I'm very excited to own. So let me just kind of tell you about my weekend. My husband and I went to see the Black Crowes in concert. So that was just kind of a spur of the moment. We just decided a few days before, they're going to be here this Friday. Let's pick up some tickets and go. I love the Black Crowes. You know, I've talked about this before many times on my channel. I, at one point in my life, was working 70 hours a week and going to college. I was paying for my own books, paying as I went back when school was affordable, but you had to work hard, pay for it as you go. It's hard to do that nowadays, but that was what was going on in my life. So I didn't have a lot of extra money, but I will say, I had the Black Crowes Shake Your Money Maker. So if I had the tape or the CD of a record, that meant it was really something special to me. And so seeing the Black Crowes was wonderful. And it was Chris and Rich. And I will say, they were a lot of fun. They were very high energy. The guitar playing was incredible. The music was great. Chris Robinson still sounds extremely well. I actually was surprised. There's been some recordings where I've heard his voice and I didn't think it sounded quite as good as it was back in the day. But live, it sounded like himself. He sounded great. And my husband joked around thinking he dances a little awkward, but I think he really is just channeling Mick Jagger and had those Mick Jagger moves. And the concert was fantastic. I ended up buying this shirt. It's got some writing on the back too. What I thought was cool about it, it has all of the dates on the sleeve. There was a shirt I liked a little bit better looks-wise, but if I'm going to buy a concert t-shirt and plunk down that kind of money, I always like it to be of an official tour with the dates on it, or at least the cities that they tour in. I don't know why. Let me know in the comments if that's kind of how you are too. I just like having it to be like when you look at it, you know it came from a concert, a genuine concert, and that's not something that you just maybe ordered off of, I don't know, who sells things like regular t-shirts like Macy's or just a regular store. So I thought this shirt was cool, but I wouldn't have bought it if I knew something else was available. And after I walked away with the shirt, my husband made a comment. He's like, "Oh, I thought you were going to pick up something else." I'm like what? You know, I love the t-shirts. And he's like, "Well, they had something up there I thought you would want." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he pointed to me and I saw the sign. It was this. I didn't know they were selling their vinyl records. The record itself was not on display. They just had a sign, autographed albums, and the price. And the price wasn't horribly bad. It was actually pretty good for 2 autographs and for the price of the record itself. So I ended up regretting buying the shirt, but ended up getting both. And I've got Chris Robinson and Rich Robinson's autographs now. So, you know, I thought that was really cool. And I did get to hear a few songs from this record. I haven't played the album yet. I liked them live. I thought the songs were pretty good. Of course, when they're live and having a good time, and it's very energetic, of course, it's hard to not like that. Here is the record itself. But you know, I don't have a lot of albums that are autographed. I just didn't expect to find, I should have looked, and I'm going to from now on look. I don't very often see concerts where you can buy autographs. I've seen it a couple of times before, but I was actually surprised that they had some. And when I got there and was looking at them, it was before the show. It was really early before the show started. The guy told me, he handed me one of the records so I could just see the autographs. He goes, there's only 9 of these. Now, whether there was more than one merch booth that had them, I don't know, but there weren't a lot of them. So if you are interested in getting autographed albums, always look at the concert venues when you go to a show. Now, I would say don't get your hopes up if it comes to Paul McCartney or Ringo Starr or, I don't know, some of the bigger people like Stevie Nicks. She didn't have autographed albums for sale. But I thought that was really cool to have the founding brothers of the Black Crowes autograph for. It cost a little more, but it was totally worth it. I enjoyed the show, a lot of fun. A lot of people around me were enjoying it. I stood up and probably annoyed the people behind me some. But, you know, that's another whole debate we could get into, whether you should stand up at rock concerts or not. My thought is a rock concert, yes. If you want to stand up and get into the music, I would think that's what the band wants you to do. I would think if the band is out there performing, singing their heart out and doing those Mick Jagger moves, how boring would it be to look out in the crowd that everybody's just sitting down staring at you? So I like to stand up at concerts. Let me know what you think. Am I annoying, or is that the right and proper thing to do? And now I want to show you some amazing records. These are from the Elemental Music label. They did send these as a promotional copy. I love them. They're always great quality. They use pure virgin vinyl, and they always sound really good. The packaging's great. Let me show you what I think is my favorite. These excite me, and I'm not going to lie, I'm a little obsessed with them. So let me just show you this. This is Late Night Jazz. This is Chet Baker. So I love Elemental Music. They have been putting out some great Chet Baker records. They've been putting out great Bill Evans. They've been hitting the blues. They've been hitting Motown. They've been putting out a lot of great stuff. And to me, this Chet Baker Late Night Jazz, it's packaged in the same way those amazing Record Store Day records are. Now, this was recorded in 1988, just a few months before he passed away. And I know he really abused his body, but you know what? He still could play so well. He still took his talents very seriously. His trumpet playing is great. There's one song where he sings a little bit, does a little scatting. And I just think Philip Catherine, the guitar player, oh my goodness, he pulls the weight on here a lot too. He carries the weight like Chet Baker. But it's a great lineup. The piano is exquisite. 2 LPs, great, great songs. They sound wonderful. If you love Chet Baker, I highly recommend you looking for this. I will leave the Elemental Music label website down below so you can click on it, and you can find these records in a lot of the places you just usually find your records. And if I see something, an easy one to just click on, I will leave a link for certain records as best I can. You can always go to your local record store and ask them if they can order it for you. A lot of times they're really good and able to do that. This Chet Baker, it came with a booklet with a lot of great photos and write-ups about this performance. And again, I love these. These are a lot like what they do for Record Store Day, and I love having these in my jazz collection. So that was really cool. Let me show you one of the records. 2 LPs, but they always put these in these polyline sleeves too, so you don't have to go through an expense of replacing those. You can use those. Sounds great. No pops or clicks, no problems. Plays beautifully. And this, I think, is the first time this actual album was available nationwide or worldwide even. I think it just was limited before, and there's some bonus tracks on this one. And now I want to talk to you about a really cool one. I'm a big Michael Jackson fan, and I like to have a lot of the Michael Jackson albums. This is a cool one. It's a Motown Get It Together a J5, the Jackson 5. This one came out in 1973. As you can see, like this is the cutout. Here is the inner sleeve, so when you put it in, it makes the complete album and it looks really good. Let me put that in. It looks really cool. And again, this is when, at an age where Michael Jackson was 14, they were trying to get away from that bubblegum pop scene and they were wanting to get into being more serious, building a bigger fan base. And this is more of a funk soul record. Michael Jackson's voice still really soars on here. It's great. There's really cool songs on here like GIT, Get It Together. Also a Dance Machine. My introduction to Dance Machine honestly was MC Hammer, but this is a really cool original version of that song and a great release by the Jackson 5. And I don't really see these records. I didn't see them when I lived in Kentucky. I haven't been seeing them when I'm in Florida. So I love finding these or at least getting these reissues. And I'm kind of to a point now where I feel like if I'm going to, I have a battle when it comes to my records. I like having originals. I think they're so cool and amazing. But if they don't sound good and there's so many pops and clicks and the record is all damaged, the album cover is all damaged, I think I kind of lean towards getting a reissue. And that's where I'm at on this. This is on red vinyl and it has the Motown label. So I thought that was really a pretty record. So I love that one. And again, these are from the Elemental Music label, and they've been doing a great job pressing quality records on quality vinyl. Here is one that I was so excited about and I was really interested in hearing. I'd never heard this album before, and it is Marvin Gaye and Mary Wells Together. This came out in 1964. It is the only record that they did together, and of course Marvin Gaye went on to do with Tammy Terrell some duets, and that's my sentimental favorite. I love Tammy Terrell, and also Kim Weston. But this is the one and only one from Mary Wells, and you all know her because she was the singer of the song My Guy. Unfortunately for Mary Wells, she got some really bad management advice, and her manager was her former husband, married at the time. She left Motown, and that was a huge mistake for her. But this album is no mistake. It sounds beautiful. Marvin Gaye, you all know the quality of his voice, and Mary Wells. They just sound so good together. I really enjoyed it. And of course, like I said, Tammy Terrell's like my favorite, sentimental, and she sounds great, and they have a great chemistry together. So do Marvin Gaye and Mary Wells, and I really enjoyed that record. And again, on the Motown label. And now I want to show you a Marvin Gaye record, In the Groove. This is from 1968. He had a little bit of a hiatus of having his own albums out. He had been doing the duet albums with Tammy, Kim, and this one came out called In the Groove. It was later reissued as I Heard It Through the Grapevine because that was the huge hit that's on here. Also, There Goes My Baby is on here, and a lot of really wonderful songs from Marvin Gaye. And I don't see a lot of Marvin Gaye out there in clean condition, especially these early records. So I really enjoy having this. It's a great reissue that plays beautifully. Marvin Gaye was amazing, and I love that. And this one is on the Tamla label. Again, I love having poly-lined inner sleeves that I do not have to replace. This next guy, speaking of fantastic singers, I put this record on, and this guy's voice just absolutely filled the room in a way that just shocked me. I wasn't expecting it. I shouldn't have been surprised though, because Smokey Robinson has an incredible voice, and this is Make It Happen. This, again, reissued later. This came out in 1967, but in 1970 they issued The Tears of a Clown as a single, and it became a huge hit. So when they did a reissue, they called it The Tears of a Clown, and that was such a cool song, and I've really enjoyed it, and I like all of these songs on here. And the music is very good, but make no mistake, it is Smokey Robinson's smooth, beautiful vocals that really sold me on this record. I really enjoyed it. I just think he has one of the best voices, and it just kept getting better and better. I'm a huge fan of the song Being With You from the early 80s, or maybe even 1980. If y'all remember that song by Smokey Robinson. I mean, it's because of the way he sings. He's so incredible. And I never find early Smokey Robinson and the Miracles records. So getting reissues like this where you don't have to worry about the clicks and the pops, fantastic. Again, the Tamla label. The next record I want to show you is from one of the fathers of Bossa Nova. It is Antonio Carlos Jobim, and this is tied from 1970. This has a very unique, very different version of Girl from Ipanema. And I think if you like the Gets Gilberto version, you would love this one. It's very different from that, but also very cool and refreshing. And of course, the music on here, so great. And I used to see a lot of these A&M records out and about. They were not that expensive. I don't really see these in good condition anymore. It was really hard to find them clean. So I love having a clean copy of this and just being able to play it and just let it fill the room with that great Bossa Nova sound. It's been very relaxing, and you know I've been needing to listen to some very relaxing music lately. And again, this is a great release, so I love that. He was the composer of Girl from Ipanema, and I love that version. The original with Astrid I'm sorry, I always pronounce it wrong. Astrid Gilberto, I love her singing on that. That one's great. But this is a just a really nice, no one's singing on it, and it just sounds really interesting and cool. And here is, I love that they make these labels look like the originals. I think that's a cool touch. They're retro looking. Again, here is Antonio Carlos Jobim, Wave. Again, another great record. This one takes back to 1967. But it's just, again, wonderful, relaxing music from one of the fathers of Bossa Nova. And the last record I want to show you is certainly not least, More Hits by the Supremes. This was a great one that came out in 1965. The harmonies are so beautiful on here. And of course, the big hits are Stop in the Name of Love, Back in My Arms Again. And it's just a fantastic record by the Supremes. So I will leave a link so you can look at more information about the Elemental Music label, about all of these releases. They always have, they have more. It's not only these. Check out the one's coming up for Record Store Day by Bill Evans, B.B. King. Hopefully I will be able to preview those on my channel if possible. But thank you to the Elemental Music label. Let me know if you've ever found a really cool autographed record at a concert, had the ability to purchase one at a concert. Is that a common thing? Because I really did not know it was. I've seen it a few times, and I was just absolutely floored. And let me know what you think of these records. Do you have any special memories of any of these albums I showed today? And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel to help me grow. Please hit the like button and hit the like button and the notification bell. Most importantly though, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.